I'm reading this week The Diary of Anais Nin. It's probably coming out backwards for you. You may know this book as the source for Henry and June. Great movie, very sexy movie, very kind of erotic, interesting record of really one of the best writers. She lived in the 20s and 30s and more than that, but she wrote this book takes place in the early 30s, and she's writing about the origins of psychoanalysis and something really interesting here. She writes about how psychology, therapy, comes out of the desire to seem like a science. Freud really wanted to be seen as a science, right? He wanted to be seen as legitimate. And so a lot of therapy and a lot of self-improvement, and you see where I'm getting here in terms of dating and love, a lot of self-improvement comes from the paradigm of fixing something that's broken, a mechanism that's broken. And she writes about Otto Rank, and you may know some of his work, early psychologist who really broke with Freud, and he said that therapy is not so much fixing something that's broken, but healing something, expressing something that's not yet expressed. I like to talk about healing as bringing out into the light that which you're keeping in your shadow. All the pain from your past, the self-recrimination, the anger at yourself, the blame of others, bring it out into the light. What happens when you bring that stuff out into the light? It tends to dissolve. This is a very different approach to self-improvement. So there's the desire to fix oneself, which there's a lot of products out there and a lot of information that really plays off your desire to feel that you're broken and that something needs fixed. But there's another approach, and that is to express yourself fully. And that's Rank's approach, and I really like this. What he says is that you're not so much a mechanism that needs to be fixed, but a story that needs to be told. And when you don't tell your story, when you don't express yourself as the joy, as the unique person you are, as the lover of life that you really are, when you don't express that, when you bottle it up, when you're not living boldly, it kind of becomes disease in yourself, and you can't possibly live happily and attract the kind of love you want. So, rather than the paradigm of I'm broken and I need to do the 5 things that will fix me so I'll be available for love, instead, I want you to consider the other paradigm, to live your story exuberantly. Find out what you love and live it, and don't apologize for it. Your life's not a formula. It's a story. And the more you create yourself and enjoy yourself and embrace your joy, what makes you happy, right? And who you are and the purpose that you're here to fulfill, the more you'll attract love. So it's a different perspective on love, intimacy, self-development, not something to be fixed, but you're a story to be told. And the better you live that story, the more exuberantly you live that story, the more chances that you'll actually attract real love in your life. And even if you don't, you'll have a better life because you're actually living who you actually are. So live fearlessly, live boldly, enjoy the new year, and I'll see you next Saturday.